Hey there, it's Teacher Elizabeth with another art tutorial for you. Today we're going to learn about monochromatic color. When something is monochromatic, it has variations of one color. Some of the colors are light, dark, warm, cool, or grayed. For example, looking at this blue flower, you see different variations of the blue. In the previous slide, we saw different variations of the green. And in this next slide, we're seeing different variations of the red. You've got dark reds, light reds, medium reds, and you can create a whole image using one color plus black and white. Here's the example of what you're going to make today. Each of these forms in this picture are colored in with a single color plus black and white. Now before we begin, I need to go through the art materials with you. You just need colored pencils, paper, a pencil, and a ruler. All right, let's get started. The first thing I'm showing you, you don't have to do yourself, but you may want to for practice. What I'm doing is showing you the different values of each one of the colors we're going to use in our project today. Value in art is just how light or dark something is. So I start off with a medium valued red in the center, the number 3 box. And then I went to the left to make it a little bit lighter. So I used a little bit less pencil. And then when it came to the first box, the lightest box in this value band, I just used the white with a little bit of red and then used my finger to blend it in. The fourth box that I've colored in is the straight color. You just layer it up really well. It creates its own value just by layering up the color. And then the fifth box, the last box, is the color plus black. So now I'm doing the same exact thing with the blue value band. I started with a medium value blue in the center, I went left and went lighter, and then I went right and got darker. And then the same thing with the green. All right, to get started, the first thing you're gonna do is draw a table line with a vanishing point. So you draw a line across your paper, it doesn't matter where, and then you're gonna put a dot on that line like you saw me do previously. Next, you will draw a sphere in front with a cube behind it. Once you draw the square, you're going to take the ruler, line up the top left corner with the vanishing point and draw a line, then line up the top right corner of the square and draw a line to the vanishing point, and then finally draw another line from the bottom right corner to the vanishing point. Then you're going to take the ruler and connect the two diagonal lines with a vertical line on the side, and then at the top, you're going to connect the two diagonal lines with a horizontal line to create the back top side of the cube and the back right side of the cube. The last form I'm drawing is a cone. So you'll have a sphere, a cube, and a cone. Now what I just pointed out to you right there was the light source. That's the direction from which the light will be coming. Because the light is coming from the left, the right side of that cone is going to be darker. And then the left side of the cone will be lighter. But there's a roundness to that cone. The darkest part of that cone is going to be in the back of the cone towards the right, but not all the way over on the far edge. Because it's a round form, you want to leave that far edge on the right not too dark. Keep it kind of soft. The darkest marks will happen in the back towards the far right side, but in the middle, just where I was putting the black pencil now. That's where the darkest value is going to be. You got to figure with something that's round that there's another side to it, so it's going to be reflecting light on that far side. So using a combination of the blue pencil and the black pencil, I created those nice dark values. Now for the medium and light values, I'll just use the blue pencil, not the black pencil. Areas where I want it to be lighter, I'll either not push down very hard on the pencil or add a little bit of white. Now I'm adding the cast shadow. The cast shadow will be darkest at the base of the form and get a little bit lighter as it moves out. Moving on, I headed over to the cube. The far right side is going to be where the dark values are. The top is going to be more of a medium value because it'll be catching a little light from that left side. And then the face of the cube will be the lightest except for the cast shadow. So you see how I drew that half circle in the bottom left corner of the cube as the cast shadow. That's being cast by that sphere in front. Now I've moved on to the far right side where there's the most shadowing and added some black to my red. I also used red and black for my cast shadow. Now for these cast shadows, think about the fact that shadows are not forms. They have very soft edges. They don't have any hard edges. So when you're shading the cast shadows in, have kind of a light touch. Make it so that it feels like an effect of light and not a form. So I've moved on to the front of the cube and I'm using the white and the red pencil for the light value in front. Now I'm adding more red to that light side because just because it's light does not mean it's white. That's one of the biggest mistakes people make. And just because something's dark doesn't mean it's black. It just means it's darker. So I'm going ahead and putting more red in there and now a little bit more black in that cast shadow so that I can emphasize that this is a red form with the light coming from the left, which makes the cast shadow on the right. Okay, now we're going for the green. I'm blocking in or quickly coloring in the dark values first, just like I've done on the other two forms. I use the green as a base color, and where I want to make it darker, I either layer up the green or add black to it. Then when it comes to the lighter areas, I don't press as hard down on the pencil and I use white. So the less pressure I put on the pencil, the lighter the mark. And then where the highlight comes for that nice round sphere, that's where I'll use quite a bit of white. After you get everything colored in, paying attention to the light source, making one side light and one side dark, and adding those cast shadows, then all you have to do is draw that table line. This simple project will help you to understand monochromatic color so that you can maybe try a drawing of your own with only one color plus black and white. Thank you so much for joining me today, and please share with us what you've created.